A study done that looked at the 3 most common traits of highly successful people, hyper successful people. We're talking top level CEOs. The first one was a crippling sense of insufficiency. The second one was a superiority complex. And the third one was an ability to have maniacal focus. So what you have, and it's this Peterson story, which you may be familiar with, they starve rats and put them into a tube. They attach a spring to the tail of the rat so that they can tell how much force they're pulling with. And that gives a proxy for desire, right? That's how much they want it. They waft the smell of cheese in from the front and the rat pulls toward the cheese. And you think, these rats are starving, they're going to be pulling very hard. Then they take the rats out and they do another iteration of the study. This time, they waft the smell of cheese in from the front and they waft the smell of a cat in from behind. The rats pull harder. What's the lesson? In life, not only do you need to run towards something that you want, but you need to run away from something that you fear. And I've spoken to 600 high performers on my show, right? I would say that on average, most of the people that are unbelievably good at anything that they do are driven by a fear of insufficiency, not by a perfectly balanced desire for success. And for the people that maybe resonate with this fear of insufficiency and this requirement to offer the world something in order for the world to feel like they're worthy, it is possible to deprogram it. It is possible to tune that volume down. But one of the things that you're going to pay a price with is your drive, because the rat that is running away from something that it fears will pull harder than the rat that's just running towards something that it wants. The traits of super competitive people don't just include the superiority complex, but the crippling anxiety about being a failure. So this tension between success and failure is a driver, but it's an incredibly toxic fuel, right? To be propelled by fear of insufficiency can work super well, but it's very dangerous. There's a final example, Eddie Hall, world's strongest man, and he retires on the podium. He's holding this trophy in the air and he's saying, "This is for you, Nana." And his grandma's passed away recently and he's crying and he's 200 kilos and 6'4", and he's worked his entire life. And he said in an interview shortly afterward that if he hadn't won the world's strongest man, he would be dead, single, with no relationship to his kid, because he was pushing his body so hard with the lifting and presumably the drugs that he was taking. He was training so much that his relationship with his wife was breaking down, and he was out of the house so much he had no relationship to his kid. Jason Pargin says, accept that all of your heroes are full of shit. Your heroes aren't gods, they're just regular people who got particularly good at one thing by sacrificing literally everything else. That's the price that you pay for success, and most people wouldn't pay it.